I need a good laugh. So let's watch this.
I'm Robin Roberts in New York. Musician and actor Jussie Smollett sat down with me for his first interview since that night in Chicago. Smollett told me how he's doing now and responds to those who doubt his account.
I'm pissed off.
What a coincidence! So am I!
What is it that has you so angry? Is it the attackers?
It's the attackers, but it's also the attacks.
Well, that's a harsh way of saying backlash.
It's like, you know, at first it was a thing of like, listen, if I tell the truth, then that's it, because it's the truth.
But that's the problem. You didn't. You lied to all of our faces, including your fans.
Then it became a thing of like, oh, how can you doubt that? Like, how do you not believe that? It's the truth.
Because of a special little thing called evidence, and we got a lot of it. The evidence tells the truth. What you're saying is a bunch of lies.
And then it became a thing of like, oh, it's not necessarily that you don't believe that this is the truth. You don't even want to see the truth.
That's the kind of mentality that goes through your head. We saw the truth. We saw that you orchestrated the whole attack. You hired two black guys, to jump you and attack you and say, you know, this is MAGA country, and get a rope and bleach and everything. It's all right there. You made it up for fucking...
What happened that night, Jussie?
When I landed in Chicago, and Frank Gatson, who's like my uncle, and he's also my creative director, and he picked me up. And then we got back to the apartment. There was no food. And so I went out to Walgreens thinking that they were 24 hours and to have a smoke. Walgreens was closed. So I called him up and I said, hey, I'm gonna run to Subway, which was across the street, and I'm gonna get a salad. Do you want anything? I went to the Subway and got the order. During that time, I texted my manager thinking that he was still in Australia because he was on an Australian tour with one of his other clients.
Now keep in mind, guys, this was like in the middle of the night, like around 2 a.m. in the winter, where the temperature is dangerously low. Like, we're talking maybe 20 below zero. No one should be out that time.
I say, yo, call me when you can. He called me immediately. And while he was on the phone, I heard, as I was crossing the intersection, I heard Empire. And I don't answer to Empire. My name ain't Empire.
No, but you star in the show Empire. That's why they did it. Come on, man. Use your fucking brain.
And I didn't answer. I kept walking, and then I heard Empire. So I turned around, and I said, did you just say to me? And I see the attacker.
Now remember that. He said attacker. One person showed up. Just remember that.
Masked. And he said, this MAGA country punches me right in the face. So I punched his ass back. And then we started tussling. You know, it was very icy. And we ended up tussling by the stairs. Fighting. There was a second person involved who was kicking me in my back.
So wait a minute. This other guy just shows up out of nowhere in the middle of the night, 20 below zero, and just joins in on the fight. He's like, hey, can I get on this? I want to kick this guy's ass. I don't know who you're beating up, but I want in on this. Boo, 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 boo. I don't believe it.
And then it just stopped. And they ran off. And I saw where they ran. And the phone was in my pocket, but it had fallen out. And it was sitting there. And my manager was still on the phone. So I picked up the phone and I said, Brandon. And he's like, what's going on? And I said, I was just jumped. And then I look down and I see that there's a rope around my neck.
So as you're getting beaten up and kicked, they managed to put a rope around your neck.
Which I hadn't.
You hadn't noticed it before?
No,
you didn't
because
see?
it was so fast. You know what I'm saying? It was so fast.
How long did this all
It felt like minutes, but it probably was like 30 seconds, honestly. I can't tell you, honestly. I noticed the rope around my neck, and I started screaming. And I said, there's a rope around my neck.
There's a fucking fucking rope around my neck, man. I don't know how to take it off.
Did you get any kind of description of the attack?
I gave a body description, and I, because I saw this, right here or whatever, but I didn't see, I can't tell you what color their eyes were. I can't tell you, and I did not see anything except the second person I saw running away. And the first person, I saw his stature. I gave the description as best as I could. You have to understand also that it's Chicago in winter. People can wear ski masks and nobody's gonna question that.
Yeah, Chicago, the city that has the strictest gun laws in the country, therefore most crimes in the country. And most of it is black on black crime, since most of the people there are black.
The police have gone through a lot of video, and they were able to capture an image of two people of interest. Have you seen that image, and do you believe that they could possibly be the attackers?
I do.
What is it about their size, or why do you feel that they could possibly be?
Because I was there. For me, when that was released, I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. I don't have any doubt in my mind that that's them.
Well, they better be. I hired them.
Never did.
Why did you hesitate to want to call the police?
Yeah, why didn't you? You were attacked. The first thing you should do is call the police. Instead, you talk to your freaking manager from Australia.
There's a level of pride there. We live in a society where
if you were jumped and attacked and you called the police right away, we would not, shame you on that. Everyone should do that. Should be like the first thing you do when you're jumped. I don't care what sex you are, what race you are. If you're jumped and you got the phone and you're able to call the police, do it. That should be a good thing. And here you're saying no because of pride. What fucking pride? Your pride went down the shitter, man.
as a gay man, you were considered somehow to be weak, and I'm not weak.
And yet you're fucking crying!
I am not weak. And we are, as a people, are not weak. So, I can accept that there was pride there. There's also privacy. You know, at the end of the day, look what has happened. You know, look what has happened. So...
What in the hell are you talking about?
I'm glad that Frank called the police. I'm glad that we reported it. During that time before they came, it took them about maybe half hour to come. And during that time, I was looking at myself, just like checking myself out. I saw the bruise on my neck, you know, like the little, the rope burn around my neck. And then but I smelled bleach. I know the smell of bleach. And I saw on my sweatshirt, it had marks on it, like spots on it, when you have a bad bleach job. So then I was like, there's bleach on me too. So when the police came, I kept the clothes on. I kept the rope.
So you had the rope on the entire time?
I mean, it wasn't like wrapped around, but yeah, it was around because I wanted them to see. I wanted them to see what this was. I told them what happened, everything. I also asked them to turn their body cams off because they were trying to stay in the hallway.
Whoa, wait a minute. You asked the cops to turn off their body cams? No. Now I know this is full of shit. Why the hell would you ask the cops to do that? The body cams are there for a fucking reason, man.
And I was like, please just come in. Like, I don't want a big scene with my neighbors and with like the second round of police officers. I went down to where it happened and I walked them through exactly what happened. And I looked up and I saw that there was a camera directly on the light post that is in the intersection. So I'm like, there it is.
A potential break in the case that would eventually fall apart days later.
And then the detective told me that the camera inside of the casing was facing north, so they didn't have it. And that was disappointing.
The vast majority of people have been supportive and loving and understanding. And then as time has gone on and that there's no, you know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you're going to Subway, Sub-Zero.
Subway is open 24 hours. Like, people kill me when they say things like that because it's like Subway is open 24 hours for a reason. So that when you're hungry at night and you ain't got no food, you go to Subway.
Really? Just Subway? No other store? No like other convenience stores or gas stations that are open 24 hours? Not a Walmart? Just Subway, man. We did it for food. Man, fuck off. Look at him. He's getting all defensive now. He's like, man, I was hungry. I want to go out and get some food. Man, calm the fuck down, you queen.
The camera facing north, how is that my issue? It feels like if I had said it was a Muslim or a Mexican or someone black, I feel like the doubters would have supported me a lot much more. A lot more. And that says a lot about the place that we are in our country right now. The fact that we have these fear mongers, these people that are trying to separate us. And it's just not okay. It's just not okay. And for all of the people, the next time that you see someone report something, maybe well after the fact that it happened, and you say to them, well, why you wait until now? Just remember that mine was reported right away. And look what has happened.
The phone. When did you, because as you said, it was an accurate account of the timeline, valuable information. When did you make that information available to the police?
We had to give the phone records, which they didn't originally ask for my phone records. They asked for my phone. They wanted me to give my phone to the tech for 3 to 4 hours. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna do that.
Why?
Because I have private pictures and videos and numbers, my partner's number, my family's number, my castmates' number, my friends' numbers, my private emails, my private songs, my private voice memos. I don't know what that's gonna be to hand over my phone.
Then how are the detectives supposed to help you out in this case?
And honestly, by then, inaccurate, false statements had already been put out there.
Earlier this week, he submitted phone records from within an hour of the incident. But Chicago police said they were limited and heavily redacted, adding they need additional information to corroborate the investigative timeline. His attorneys tell us they are willing to cooperate. Smollett also says he has been troubled by inaccurate claims. What other ones had you heard that were inaccurate?
That I had said that they were wearing MAGA hats. I never said that. I didn't need to add anything like that. They called me a They called me a There's no which way you cut it. I don't need some MAGA hat as the cherry on top of some racist sundae. I've heard that it was a date gone bad, which I so resent that narrative. I'm not gonna go out and get a tuna sandwich at a salad to meet somebody. That's ridiculous, and it's offensive.
Oh, well, excuse me for insulting your stature. I mean, you're a millionaire and everything, a very well-respected performer on a TV show. Ooh, apparently getting a salad or a tuna fish dinner or something cheap is offensive to you. You're the kind of guy who wants to get like a steak or maybe a really expensive swordfish with a side of caviar and all candlelit with a real piano player, while the rest of us normies would rather hang out at like some pizza place, just get a couple of slices, maybe a beer, and just hang out and talk. Jeez, excuse us!
Yes, there's Grindr. Yes, there's Jacked. Yes, there's all of these things, which I have not been on in years. I can admit that I was on that back in the day. I was single.
Okay, why are we changing the subject now? We're here talking about your attack, and now you're talking about being offensive, of how this is like a date situation. Somehow that triggered you, and now you're like defending yourself 10 times over. Calm the fuck down. Focus on the goddamn fake attack.
You know what I'm saying? But I have not been on that in years. But aside from that, it's offensive. And I absolutely resent that narrative because it's bull. It's bull. And it's unfair. It's unfair to the investigation. It's unfair to, I hate this word, but it's unfair to the victim.
What were your injuries? What were they?
They did x-rays. I didn't have, it was reported that I had like fractured ribs or cracked ribs or something like that. That wasn't true. I was just in a lot of pain. You know, my clavicle was messed up, my rib was bruised, but nothing was cracked. Like, I walked into the hospital. I walked out of the hospital.
Why do you think you were targeted?
I can just assume, I mean, I come really, really hard against 45.
Ah, there we go. It finally comes out.
I come really, really hard.
Sick.
Against his administration.
The same administration that brought unemployment to an all-time low, especially to blacks and Latinos. The same administration that created the tax cut plan, in which more people are seeing more money in their paychecks, and even big companies like energy companies, like oil heating or gas heating or lighting, they're slashing their rates in half for customers, so that way they pay less towards the energy.
And I don't hold my tongue.
I want to ask you about Jussie Smollett.
I think that's horrible. It doesn't get worse, as far as I'm concerned.
Were you aware that he made that statement?
I saw it. I don't know what to say to that, you know?
And there it is, everybody! It's because he hates Trump. No fucking surprise there. Are you surprised? No. You? Of course not. None of us are.
You know, I appreciate him not brushing over it.
And there is no doubt in your mind what motivated this attack.
I could only go off of their words. I mean, who says empire, this MAGA country, ties a noose around your neck and pours bleach on you?
And so he creates a special narrative that people who support Trump are assholes and they'll attack anybody who hates the president, which is completely opposite. This is like topsy-turvy world right here, because I see more people on the left going after Trump supporters than the other way around.
And this is just a friendly fight. I will never be the man that this did not happen to. I am forever changed. And I don't subscribe to the idea that everything happens for a reason, but I do subscribe to the idea that we have the right and the responsibility to make something meaningful out of the things that happen to us, good and bad.
What do you feel people need to hear the most from this story?
I think that what people need to hear is just the truth. It's just the truth, because everybody has their own idea. Some are healing and some are hurtful. But I just want young people, young members of the LGBTQ community, young black children to know how strong that they are, to know the power that they hold in their little pinky.
Have you ever been threatened before?
Yeah. I get threatened all the time on Twitter and Instagram and DMs and things like that. It's like, but, you know, I'm a public figure. I'm very outspoken. Sometimes maybe too outspoken, but it's who I am, you know? So I get the idea of pissing people off, that you're gonna rub people the wrong way.
In fact, the week before the attack, police confirm a letter was sent to the Fox studio in Chicago with threatening language and laced with powdery substance, likely Tylenol.
You serious?
Do you think there's a link between the letter and the attack? And you did mention it to the police right away about the letter.
Absolutely. Just because on the letter it had a stick figure hanging from a tree with a gun pointing towards it, with the words that said, "Smollett Jussie, you will die, black." There was no address, but the return address said in big red, you know, like caps, MAGA. Did I make that up too?
Yes!
I want that video found so badly because for probably 4 reasons. Number one, I want them to find the people that did it. Number 2, I want them to stop being able to say alleged attack.
That's a good one.
Number 3, I want them to see that I fought back.
Oh, God, you're killing me.
And I want a little gay boy who might watch this to see that I fought back. And it does not take anything away from people that are not able to do that. But I fought back. They ran off. I didn't.
Yeah, because they did their job of kicking your ass to the point you're on the ground, and they're like, okay, we gotta stop right here. All right, see you later, Jussie.
What do you say to a young gay man, a young gay person?
To learn to fight. And I don't just mean like learn to fight. I mean, learn to fight. Learn to be a fighter. I am not advocating violence at all. So let's be clear about that.
And yet you created one.
If you're gonna die, fight until you do. Because if you don't fight, you have no chance. I have fought for love. I'm an advocate. I respect too much the people who I am now one of those people who have been attacked in any way. You do such a disservice when you lie about things like this.
I know, isn't that a drag, Jussie? So why did you do it?
If the attackers are never found, how will you be able to heal?
I don't know.
You liar!
Maybe I'll start my own GoFundMe campaign. It worked for Christine Blasey Ford.
Let's just hope that they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not go there yet. Let's, I was talking to a friend, and I said, I just want them to find them.
Ew, that was disgusting. You start with your nose and you work up to your eyes. Ew, you got boogers on your eyes now.
And she said, sweetie, they're not gonna find them. And that just made me so angry because, so I'm just gonna be left here with this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna be left here with
millions of dollars and in a really nice home where I'm surrounded by high-class friends and all this great food and my fancy cars and
So they get to go free and go about their life and possibly attack someone else, and I'm here to left with the aftermath of this bull. That's not cool to me. That's not okay. So I understand how difficult it will be to find them, but we gotta. I still want to believe, with everything that has happened, that there's something called justice. Because if I stop believing that, then what's it all for?
How do you sleep at night?
I'm telling you guys, you keep pushing this shit to make Trump look bad is hurting you more than him. And the probability of him getting reelected again is very, very high.